Good morning, everyone. My name is Kara Brown. I am an urban fantasy author, and I wrote those stories that are on the wall behind me, and I'm here to get some words done. And I'm a little aggravated because there was a scene that I thought I had finished writing, and it was polished, and I was done with it, and I just went to check, and I can't find it. So that's my life this morning. So I'm going to have to redo that. But you know what? Sometimes that just happens. So anyway, let's take a look and see who's here. Cat's here. Hey, Cat. I haven't seen you for a while, but I haven't been around as much as I probably should be as it is. So thank you for coming and hanging out with me this morning. Let's see, I'm working on YouTube things, neglected them, so I figured out what I need to do. I feel that. Pretty bad about that myself. I think maybe I've just posted like my first video in a hot minute, so. Let's see, Debbie says, morning, doing the coloring process on the comic. Okay, cool. You always do good stuff. And then Isabel Cox is here. Hello, thank you so much for coming and joining me this morning. So for those who are not aware, usually what I do is I have writing sprints very early on Saturday morning because that will get me to get stuff done, right? And what I'm going to do, because I keep getting in trouble with YouTube for using copyright-free things because reasons I don't understand it. So if you guys have the Forest app, I've only got pumpkins right now. I'm deeply sorry. But we're going to grow some pumpkins this morning. And right over here is the code to get into the room. So what I'll do is I'll let you guys have until the 5 minute before I start this. And if you want to join me in the room, please feel free to. And again, that code is going to be 3R4ERVYSG. Did I do that on there right? I did. Okay, good. So feel free to join me if you would like to. Mama Ward is here. Good morning, Mama Ward. I hope that you are doing well. I'm going to get this story done one way or another today because I'm going to send it to my alpha reader friends and have them tell me what's wrong with it and then move on from there. That's what we're going to do. Mama Ward says pumpkins, pie, and bread and cake. Ooh. Yes. Absolutely. Sorry, it took me like a moment to like decode what you were saying to me. Yes, I actually really like making pumpkin bread muffins. Those are my favorite. I used to love doing that when I worked at a hotel. That was like my Zen thing. We've all got a Zen thing. Isabel says working on coming up with some ideas for rewriting my book. Like what? So when you're like ideas for rewriting your book, are you talking about like the proofreading process? Like, I'm just curious because I have lots of different methods I've tried, and I'm happy to like throw them at you if you are curious. So, all right, 2 more minutes. That's okay. Cool. Excuse me while I have my 5 hour. Never paid for these. I'll tell you what, I'd sponsor these in a hot minute. I really would. I think that was how I got through my bachelor's program when I was doing my dual degree too, because like, what is sleep? So it would be like a whole giant stack of cue cards in 5 hours, and that was how I passed all of my tests. And then for those of you who don't know, in order for you to actually teach in your state, they've got what's referred to as the NES test, which is basically your content understanding test. And you have to get a certain score in each state. So it differs, right? Oddly enough, my state, I think, was third from the bottom. But you have to get in each score, a certain score to be able to teach in whatever your content matters or subject matter. And so I crammed for that thing. Like I gave myself like a month and I went and took it and I passed it. Like, just here was the line. This was me, right? C's get degrees in that case. And I probably could have gotten higher, but again, I wasn't teaching general education. I was actually teaching special education. So I still had to have the general education content just in case I had that one kid. But yeah, so I probably didn't give it its due diligence that it really needed. See, Mama War says, I had pumpkin pasta once. It was interesting. It's surprisingly good. I like the shredded stuff that they've been coming out with. That's pretty exciting. Let's see. Isabel says, I gave up on most of the plot because I added too much to it, but I really like characters and the base of the plot. So what I did, Isabel, I don't know if you're interested, and then we'll start a sprint, is when I felt like that with my first book, Queen of Swords and Silence, it's this blue one over here, that one. Shameless promo, it's my show, right? But what I did is for every chapter, I went into a spreadsheet, which surprises no one, and I would have the chapter, and then in each thing, I would have what that plot line, that subplot was doing. and then I was going to see either if it was super prevalent or if it wasn't. Like that was kind of like my way of seeing if you needed to stay or go. I mean, obviously your romance subplot is probably going to still be there if you have one. But like I can't remember what that particular plot line was, but like when I saw I only had it in like 3 chapters, I was like, no, I really don't need this. It's not adding to my story. It's not progressing. It's not doing anything for like world building or character development or anything like that. So that is what I did. I'll tell you what, okay, so I'm going to start the sprint late. Because I don't know if that interests you, but I still have that template. So let me see if I can find it for you. Let me see, outline. Template. Chicks bingo card. Yeah, Jace knows me. Okay, yeah, so it's right here in the scene analysis. So I'll tell you what, let me grab it and you can have it, make coffee, and do whatever you want with it. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me this morning. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna close that. That is the spreadsheet if you are interested. Hopefully Google will let you click on that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start this timer. It's going to be for 20 minutes, and then after 20 minutes, we'll come back together and see how we're all doing and move on from there. So I'm going to start this timer in 3, 2, 1. I will see you guys in 20.